Hola and welcome back. So last month I actually posted a short video unboxing my new Mac Studio to replace my Windows PC, and a lot of you actually asked why, so I decided that I should make a video talking about the entire experience of switching from Windows to Mac and also why I did it, and I can also share with you the pros and cons. But first, I think we can start with a cinematic showcase of my new setup. Here's what my setup looks like now. I know that there are many other tiny desktop setups, but just look at the size and how clean this is. So I guess we can first start with the why. So the funny thing is, one of the main reasons that made me want to switch to Mac was basically just having the entire Apple ecosystem, because I just really wanted to have a seamless workflow, and also the fact that I just like the MacOS aesthetics, especially the animations. I have actually been a Windows user for all my life, but I got my first MacBook in school around 2013, and then the next one I only got after COVID because the old one died, and that is the MacBook Pro here, this one with the M1 Max chip. So actually my MacBook has always been my secondary computer that I use for remote working and when I travel, but then I always find that there's a disconnect between that and my desktop, and I think one of the reasons is because of AIRDROP. I know that there are other third-party apps that kind of work the same way as AIRDROP, but I think it's just not the same. So with my MacBook, I would AIRDROP the video clips that I shoot with my iPhone, and then I'll edit them on the Mac, and then I'll send it back to the phone to post, and it's really simple. But then I'll jump back to my Windows PC, and then the whole process will just not be as smooth as that. And I think also in general, my desktop was getting a bit too slow compared to the MacBook Pro, so I did it. I just decided to make the switch, and that brings me to all the pros of making the switch. First of all, Mac has a setup assistant that helps you to set up your Mac, and it's supposed to be as easy as setting up your new iPhone. I think for me personally, I wanted to start with a clean sheet, so I decided to set it up as a new computer. But if you are worried about making the switch, Setup Assistant actually works the same way as a Windows PC, except that if you're already on the Apple ecosystem with a MacBook or an iPhone, this process is just gonna be a lot more hassle-free. So next we can go into iCloud. On top of AirDrop, you can also view and access all your stuff in your photo album if you store them in the cloud. That means you can kind of download everything you have in your photo album from your phone to your desktop with iCloud. The other thing is that I use Apple's notes and reminders, and last time on the Windows PC, I used to only be able to access them on the browser, and if I wanted to make new stuff, I also had to do it in the browser, which was super slow. Now that I have swapped to Mac Studio, everything is synced. So I could literally be typing a note on my Mac Studio and then just continuing it as I am on the go on my iPhone. Then we go into screen sharing. If you notice, my new monitor is now a lot smaller compared to my previous one. And mainly that's because I realized that I prefer a double screen setup instead of a single wide screen setup. And if you are wondering why there's only one screen, I actually have two. Ta-da! So like I mentioned, I know screen sharing has been around for a while now, but I always found it quite crazy that you can use your other Apple devices as another screen. I used to use my iPad as a second screen when I travel sometimes, but not as much as how much I'm currently using my MacBook Pro as my secondary screen when editing. I think with Apple screens being so color accurate, I actually find myself using it as the more color accurate monitor. And on top of that, I'm also able to use the MacBook separately, but with the keyboard and mouse from my PC. Basically, the Apple computers and devices just detect whatever I'm using and just transfers the device to that, if that makes sense. So for example, I can pick up my AirPod Max and it's connected to the PC, but the minute I start using my laptop, it just swaps the audio somehow. Then I can pick up my phone and it's now connected to my phone. Not forgetting, I can also push calls around between my desktop, my laptop, or my phone. So I can be in my living room working on something, and then I can walk to the toilet on my phone and it goes back to my phone, and then back to the room with the same headphones, and I can transfer everything around. Then there's iPhone mirroring. This is another whole different game. You're basically using your iPhone from your computer, and that means that I can use iPhone specific app from my desktop. So yeah, macOS. I've actually always been a fan of macOS, and I like the design. I also feel that everything productivity wise just runs a lot smoother than Windows. So one of the examples is the one-click show desktop. You can just click on the desktop here and it will just show your desktop without any of the apps press open, but on Windows you kind of have to like find this button here. Might just be the design student or the OCD in me, but yeah, it's just one click show desktop, man. So on top of everything, you're able to also search for everything in a second. I'm also not talking about the Spotlight search bar, which is already like the one in Windows where you search for applications. If you open your Finder window and you actually want to locate a file, it's really quick and it really just takes a second compared to Windows. And yeah, on Windows it really takes a while. Then still on search functions, it's also crazy that in any app, for example DaVinci, I can pretty much just search for any of the items in the menu. So basically, if I click on help and search, I can actually type the function I want in the program, and then it actually links you to where this function is, and you don't really have this on Windows. And then next, previews. This is by far the one thing I always forget about Macs. You can actually preview most of the files, especially video files, just by pressing spacebar. This actually makes previewing the video files before dragging them into the editing software so much easier. It just really takes a quick second to know what the video file consists of, and it also works on photos as well, which is really cool. You can just spacebar everything, spacebar, spacebar, spacebar. Then there's gestures. I'm not extremely sure about the Magic Mouse compared to my Logitech gaming mouse, but I think what really amazed me is the amount of gestures you can actually use on a trackpad. Here are some of the examples. Zoom in or out. Swiping between pages. Rotating, easy. 3-finger drag. Show desktop. Show all apps. Switch desktop. And switch back desktop. Next, we can talk about split screens. So I remember initially when I started using Macs, I was wondering why I couldn't just drag the windows to each corner to kind of have like a split screen or lay out the windows like in Windows. But yeah, it seems like in macOS Tahoe, you are now able to do the same thing like Windows. It's crazy how the tips window just popped up one day and showed me that function, so I really can't explain how easy it is to use the Mac. So yeah, I think those are the main things I noticed that really changed after I made the switch. Not forgetting the other pointers that I've mentioned like AirDrop and stuff. So I think we can talk about some of the things that I had a little bit of difficulty with. So starting with the main concern, I think it's keys and shortcuts. So though I have a MacBook as a secondary computer, I actually spend most of my time editing on the desktop. And like I mentioned, my laptop is actually just the secondary PC that I use. And for shortcuts, I gotta say on top of Command A, C and V, I've actually never used any of the shortcuts until now that I swapped completely. When I was doing edits on my laptop, it was always very simple editing and I didn't really go into the advanced stuff that had advanced shortcuts that I know of. The keys are also positioned slightly differently from Windows, but I think all in all, it really just takes a while to get used to. I actually have been using the Mac Studio for a month now, and I think I'm quite used to the trackpad and the shortcuts now. To be really fair, I've also kind of owned the MacBook Pro for a while. If you're making the switch and you only use your Mac to do basic shortcuts like ACV, I don't think you'll have a big deal of actually, kind of getting used to that shortcuts. But I think if you are switching creative apps like Premiere, Photoshop and stuff like that, you might take a while to get used to the command option instead of like the control alternate thing. Then next, file management. So one of the things I've realized is that as much as macOS is really neat and it's also really easy to install stuff like that, I do miss being able to just copy and paste the folder's address, or just at least view the subfolders in the address bars like the / and stuff like that. I guess the speed of the Spotlight search bar makes up for that, but I kind of really miss the address bar. I think the workaround that I found was just to view each folder as a list, and that makes things easier to see like files that are in folders and folders that are in folders. And one cute little thing I noticed is that you can customize how folders look in macOS Tahoe, like add emojis and stuff. But yeah, off topic. I think that's all, man. Thank you for listening to me yap if you actually stayed until the end of the video. To give you a summary of the entire experience, personally, now that I've actually made the full switch, I think in general, especially for me, doing a lot of video editing and content creation, the jump to the full ecosystem actually really helped a lot. And I think I really love it, especially AirDrop. I love AirDrop. Obviously, this has kind of been easier for me because I've been using a MacBook on the side. And I guess that is easier for me to get used to. But because of its simplicity, I don't think you have an issue. I think if you already own a couple of Apple devices or even just the iPhone and you love it, having a Mac, whether is it the desktop like Mac Studio or laptop like a MacBook Pro, I think it's just really gonna boost your whole user experience and productivity, man. Let me know if you're already on Mac or you're planning to make the switch, and if you have any other tips and tricks about Mac, just leave them in the comments below and I will reply to them when I can. Other than that, I will just have to see you in the next video.